Hello and welcome to Nutrition 101. So, in today's session, I'm going to be talking about all the nutrition basics, my approach to nutrition, how I might coach you through nutrition, and the macronutrients, micronutrients, any supplements, hydration, eating for your goals, and a bit of an overview of nutrition because I feel like everyone needs to hear some of this, and there's not always an opportunity to tell you everything all at once. And this is going to be a really great overview of everything so that you can learn a little bit more about nutrition and apply that into your day-to-day nutrition as well. So, starting off with my approach, I like to focus on a balanced whole foods focused diet. So that's 80% whole foods and 20% soul foods. Trying to get as much variety and as many essential nutrients into your diet as you can. So that looks like a lot of vegetables, proteins, meats, keeping it really basic as possible. Trying to limit as much processed foods as possible as well. So your sugary and highly processed foods are limited. And this is because these are the types of foods that can slow our system down. And it can also make us feel not only sluggish, but potentially even harm our immune system as well. So that's why I like to focus on your fruits, your vegetables, your whole grains, proteins, and your dairy. And we'll go into why around the micro and macronutrients a little bit further in the next little bit. So, what are macronutrients? Macronutrients are the three main nutrients that we need to provide our cells with energy. So, food is energy, food is fuel. Food is literally molecules joined together to create different food groups. Protein, carbohydrates, and fats are the three main macronutrients. That's what provides energy and helps to maintain structures and systems within our body. Macronutrients are measured as energy through calories, and not all macronutrients are equal, which we'll learn about a little bit more when we dive into each of those macronutrient groups. The amount of calories and energy that each individual requires each day is different depending on their height, weight, and activity levels. So if you're wondering what kind of calories and energy you need, let me know. Send me a message, have a chat to me in person, whenever it is, and we can nut out a bit more specifically for you what that looks like. Protein, arguably one of the most important macronutrients. And this is because protein is so important for growing, repairing, and maintaining the cells in the body. It is a crucial macronutrient, and a lot of emphasis should be placed ensuring that you are fueling with enough protein. Proteins provide structure to bones, muscles, skin, and other tissues, and they also help to transport nutrients in the blood. Proteins also provide energy and also helps to increase our immunity as well. Sources include lean meats like beef, chicken, pork, fish, eggs, beans, dairy, tofu, whey protein powder, pea protein powder if you are either dairy intolerant or vegan, and some nuts. As a goal for your daily protein intake, anywhere between 1.8 and 2.2 grams per body weight. So for example, my body weight is 75 kilos. So my aim, what I would normally aim for is around 2 grams per body weight. So we're looking at 150 grams per day. Now, this is and may seem like a lot. So what I like to do with my clients is to target a little bit under that on the lower side and start to build up over time. If you eat meat, dairy, and like all legumes and everything, this shouldn't actually be too much of a problem incorporating it through a whole foods diet. Because when we have dairy in the diet, dairy also has the protein in it. So Greek yogurt, eggs, any kind of meat, lean meat, and a little bit of nuts each day, and you should be good to go. Now, fats are a funny one. Fats are split up into two different types. There's unsaturated and saturated fats. Healthy fats come from avocados, nuts, and olive oil, and some other types of oil like avocado oil or coconut oil. And they're really important for growth and hormone function. So specifically very important for females as we go through our menstrual cycle and keeping our hormones nice and balanced. Dairy foods also contain some fats as well, but this type of fat can be unwanted. So it's important to monitor how much of that you have. So if you're like, hell yeah, I can have heaps of brie, I can have blue cheese, I can have all of that cheddar, just be careful, pump the brakes a little bit on that. We can still have dairy in our diet because it also provides some other minerals and vitamins that are important for us as well, such as calcium. And it's not good to completely cut it out, but small amounts is best to keep the heart healthy. So calcium is important because it helps to keep our bones strong and keeps our bone density up. And I'll talk about that a little bit more. But some other sources of fat could include butter, but not margarine, ghee, if you've ever heard of that, coconut oil, avocado and avocado oil, olive oil, nuts, Brazil, macadamia, almonds, cashews, nut butters. Choosing natural nut butters with blended nuts and just salt is best. There are a lot of peanut butters out there that have lots of added sugars and will be high in some not so great things. And also dark chocolate is another example of something that might be a little bit higher in fat. Next up, we have carbohydrates, the dreaded carbohydrate. We don't like pasta, we don't like bread. It's not good for us. It's going to grow our waistline. But in fact, I'm taking the mickey when I say that, because when we focus on whole grains, fruits, starchy and non-starchy vegetables such as potatoes for energy, carbohydrates are our body's preferred energy source. So when we're looking at promoting strength, muscle growth, and tone, carbs are still important because they're going to give us the energy that we need to perform well in either sports, in the gym, and in our day-to-day activity. The two main types of carbs are simple carbs and complex carbs. Simple carbs are easy to digest, quick processing energy. So it helps to fuel activities within a 30-minute window or just outside that 30-minute window. Things such as honey, banana, bread-based products, and dried fruits are good as a pre-workout snack. Complex carbs are lower GI sources such as pasta, rice, oats, and potatoes. GI stands for glycemic index because glycogen is the form of carbohydrates once it's in the muscle, and that's what actually fuels it. So it breaks down when we eat it and we process it, and it goes directly to the muscle as glycogen. So that lower GI source is more longer sustained energy. So if you were to be, if you had like a netball game or a footy game tomorrow and you had some carbohydrate sources throughout the day before, it's going to give you hopefully a little bit more stored energy that your body can call on later. So it's good for performance. Same as doing like a run, 10K or a half marathon or a marathon, that kind of thing. So some other sources, as an example, could include pumpkin, corn or rice cakes, chickpeas, sweet potato, whole grain toast, black, red or brown rice, quinoa, gluten-free cereal, 100% maple syrup, honey, and banana. Okay, now on to micronutrients. Maybe this is something that you haven't heard of before, but basically micronutrients are the greens, the fruits, the vegetable, the salad, which provides vitamins and minerals, which are essential for our health because they perform many functions in the body, including metabolic processes that allow the body to get energy from carbohydrates, protein, and fat. They help the immune system function properly and thrive, maintain that integrity of physical barriers such as skin and mucous membranes. Have you ever noticed you have like some fruits and veggies and you feel like you glow a bit more? Help the body produce enzymes and hormones that are needed for normal growth and development as well. So they assist in that process of protein building blocks of our repair and maintenance of cells. Some important vitamins and minerals include calcium, like I mentioned before, so it's important for bone health, and it's found in dairy products and leafy greens as well. Iron is another one, especially for women. It's essential for energy, and sources include red meat, beans, and leafy greens. Vitamin D helps with calcium absorption, and you can get that from sunlight, egg yolks, whole milk, canned fish, and butter as well. Micronutrients are great to add low calorie volume to your meals, which is a great tool to use in a dieting phase to feel like you're consuming more, but not actually eating as many calories. So things like coleslaw or salads or even like roasted vegetables are really great to bulk up your meals, and fruits as well, to be honest. Like I've been having a little bit of a fruit salad snack in the morning, actually for breakfast, not a snack. And I just feel really full afterwards because it's just like that bigger, bulkier, higher volume, and it makes your tummy feel nice and full, and it gives you that energy to go through the day and gives you your vitamins and minerals as well. Some other examples of vegetables are carrots, alfalfa sprouts, asparagus, broccoli, cabbage, celery, eggplant, green beans, kale, mushrooms, onion, parsley, radishes, spinach, zucchini, tomatoes, turnip. Frozen vegetables are also great because they are snap frozen on the spot and locked in with all the goodness. So if you're someone that is really on the go and when you're doing your meal prep, you're like, I can only really smash this in. Frozen veggies are great. There's nothing wrong with that. Chuck them in. Love that. And non-starchy vegetables. So starchy vegetables are your potatoes, right? So when we're looking at any of the other vegetables that are not potatoes, really great as a micronutrient to focus on. What you will notice is across the last couple of slides, there may have been a bit of crossover, right? And so when we're looking at our macronutrients and our micronutrients, it's really important to remember that it's never really black and white, because in some of the carb sources I mentioned, we're talking about some beans as well, but beans also provide protein too. Same with nuts. Nuts are high in fats, but they also have a little bit of protein too. So there is a little bit of crossover with some of those macronutrients, which is completely fine, but it's designed so that if you are someone that doesn't eat meat, you're vegetarian or you're vegan, and you need to get your protein source from something else other than meat, then you can rely on beans. So that is just to clear up that little bit of confusion, because I know definitely in the past I felt like, but you said it's carbs, but you said it's protein. So and that's why. And it's also a really cool tool to use sometimes as well. For example, if you feel like you need to get a little bit of extra protein in your day, where can I pull that from? Do I pull it from my Greek yogurt, my dairy? Do I get it from a couple of beans in a Mexican style salad? So there's your answer. Supplements. I'm not a massive supplement taker, but I think it's important to chat about it a little bit because there are a few things that sometimes I would recommend to people and things to be mindful of. So multivitamins, they're going to give you all of your vitamins that fruit and veg should give us. But if you're feeling like you're lacking a little bit on your fruit and veg and you feel like your immunity is low, a multivitamin or even a greens powder could be good as well. If you feel like this is you and you want some recommendations, make sure you ask me. Magnesium, really good for recovery and helping us restore our muscles overnight. And it's kind of like a sodium level thing where we can really relax and get the full restorative benefits whilst we are not working out. So if you're feeling quite sore after workouts, magnesium might be something that you could look towards. And also, magnesium is great for sleep as well. So it could be a supplement that could help you have a deeper, more restorative sleep. Spoken about recovery in other sessions, but I won't go too much into that now. But that is definitely something that can aid with that. Same with ashwagandha. This is probably one that you might not have heard of before, but it's a supplement that's I take it with magnesium in the evenings and it can help to reduce your stress. So if you're someone that's quite stressed all the time, highly strung, go, 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 ashwagandha can really help you bring your nervous system back down to a base level, which is really important, especially when we're trying to achieve body composition goals, because we want to be in a relaxed state. We don't want to be stressing our body because our body, when it's in a stress, flight or fight kind of zone, it may not do the things that we want it to do. So it's something to be mindful of. Protein powders, another great way of getting extra protein in if you're finding that the whole foods is not enough in your day. And I highly recommend, for example, myself, I am dairy free. So I would put protein powder into my coconut yogurt to get a bit more protein in my snacks. Creatine, it is one of the best muscle building, strength supporting supplements. I personally am really bad at taking stuff like this, like consistently. So that's basically the reason why I don't, but I do have some. But it can cause you to hold water. This does not mean that you're holding extra weight at all. And in the long run, it is going to make you stronger and more capable in the gym. So it is not a bad thing to have, but it is something to be mindful of, because if you start taking creatine and you're like, what's going on? Like, I feel like I'm holding water, or I'm a bit bigger. My measurements have gone up. That could be why. And then the last one is pre-workouts. I actually don't own any pre-workouts. I'm not anti pre-workouts, but I'm not an everyday pre-workout person. But it can give you just like a little bit of a boost and a little bit of extra energy to give your workouts a little bit more oomph. That's what I'm going to say about it. It's basically caffeine stimulant. You can get non-stim ones too that will give you a bit of a buzz as well. But generally, if I'm feeling a bit tired, then I will have a pre-workout and have a great workout after. So I'm not fully anti it, but pre-workouts sometimes can be labeled as fat burners, and I don't really believe that they burn fat. In fact, they don't burn fat. They just give you a little bit more energy for your workout. But you can also have coffee as well instead. Hydration. I feel like hydration is one of the most like overlooked parts of our nutrition overall, because I feel as though we just don't drink enough water, and like our bodies are made up of so much water. And if you are dehydrated and you're like a bit like sluggish and slow, it could be because you haven't had enough water. So rule is we're going to try and drink 2 to 3 liters of water per day. I enjoy a hydration supplement as well because I like the taste. I know it's going to hydrate me well and give me some electrolytes and really restore my hydration to where it needs to be. Or just give my water a glow up if I'm feeling a bit sick of drinking water. Gives me that little pep in my step and motivation to drink more water. You can also get flavored protein water if you need a little bit of extra protein. Some of the electrolyte supplements that I like are Hydralyte, Dr. Hydrate, and Sodi, just to name a few. Powerade and Gatorade are your OG electrolyte brands, but be mindful of the sugar content in these. Some other beverages you might be inclined to drink are coffee. Little to no sugar and drink in moderation, up to 2 a day if you feel the need. Herbal teas, raw cacao or sugar-free drinking chocolate, Coke Zero or sugar-free sodas. Soda water, kombucha, and coconut water are all great options as well to help you stay hydrated and give you a little something different. When we go outside of these options, that's when we start to head into that sugar process zone. So when you are having a treat or having a drink outside of these, drink in moderation. All right, eating for your goals. So eating for your goals really obviously depends on what your goal is. When we eat just the right amount, we're going to maintain our weight. When we eat more, we're probably going to gain weight. When we eat less, we're going to lose weight. That is basic body composition maths formula, essentially. There are a few things that I'm going to explain that you might not have heard of before. I'm just going to run through them so that you have that bit of a background to understand how it all works. So your total daily energy expenditure is the sum of your resting energy needs, your basal metabolic rate, your daily activities known as NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis, the energy that we use to digest our food, the thermic effect of food, and the energy that we use during structured workouts is called EAT, exercise activity thermogenesis. Each individual requires different energy or calorie balance target based on your goals, on your height, your weight, your age, and your activity level. Other factors that may come into play include stress levels and sleep. The hand model is a really great model for people who are not ready to track their food exactly, which I'm going to talk about a little bit later. The hand model looks like this. So 1 palm portion of protein, a closed fist portion of carbohydrates, 1 thumb of fat, and cupped hands, 1 portion of fruit or vegetables. So that's how you can build a meal without actually tracking. So it's all split up into different, those different macronutrients essentially, and is a really great way to just eyeball your meal when you build it and know, okay, I've got enough protein, I've got enough vegetables, I've got enough carbs, and I've got enough fats, or not too much. That's generally going to keep you feeling full, happy, and not going overboard. In terms of tracking your progress, this might look like a couple of different things. Weighing yourself regularly, tracking your food intake, taking tape measurements, and also doing progress photos. Because what is not measured is not managed. Understandably, this can be a little bit confronting at times and also a little time consuming. But the best way to think about it is that this is just data collection. And without collecting data, we can't accurately know what is the best course of action for your goals. This is why when you enter into a dieting phase, either a deficit or a surplus, I will ask you to comply with these protocols because It's complete guesswork without it. Having said that, we are able to work around some elements of these tracking tools like the hand model previously mentioned. And progress photos are a really great way of seeing what we call body recomposition. So body recomposition is the process of the body changing, potentially without seeing a change on the scale, as you lose fat and you maybe gain more muscle as well. Here is a very commonly asked question. Is snacking naughty? And snacking is not naughty if you are snacking on the right foods. And pre-workout snacks are quite important as well. And it's something that I've come to like rely on for a little bit of energy and pep in my step in my workouts as well. So high protein snacks might look like protein yogurts or Greek yogurts with fruit, canned tuna on rice cakes, boiled eggs, meat jerky, protein shakes and smoothies. There's a lot more to mention as well, but they are the basics that should get you by in amongst your main meals as well. Pre-workout snacks might look like something like a crumpet, an English muffin, a rice cake, maybe a banana, jam and honey on some of those bread-based products, maybe a bowl of cereal, maybe a muesli bar, maybe dried fruit as well. So is snacking naughty? No, it's not. But as a general rule, if you're having a balanced whole foods meal 3 times a day, and you're having a protein snack in between, it's highly likely that you're not going to want to go for a naughty snack. You're going to feel full, you're going to feel satisfied, you're going to feel like you've got enough in your daily intake. And to finish up today, I'm going to go through the 10 golden rules of nutrition. And obviously, I've been through quite a lot of stuff today already, but this will summarize my thoughts on everything. So the 10 golden rules of nutrition, according to me. Try new foods and recipes to keep your nutrition exciting. Switch it up. Don't eat the same thing every single week back to back. That's when you're going to get sick of it. You're probably not going to want to comply. So always trying new things. 2, involve your friends and your family in your meal prep. You're probably going to feel like you're going to have to be a leader in this movement. Not everyone is going to be on board immediately, and that can be hard at times. But when you encourage people to live a healthier lifestyle, I don't think anyone can really get mad at you for that. So bring your friends on board, get them involved in the process, and get them understanding why you're doing what you're doing. 3, listen to your body and focus on the foods that make you feel good or how the food makes you feel, right? So if you are going out on the weekend and you take a little cheeky stop at KFC on the way home from being out for a couple of drinks, listen to how your body feels the next day. Now, this isn't to shame anyone for doing things like this, but it's just to kind of tune in and be like, did that actually feel good for me? Do I actually feel healthy now? Because I feel as though that has been one really big game changer for me along my journey, is tuning into how foods make me feel and honoring what my body's trying to tell me when I've maybe had something that wasn't completely nutritious. 4, aim for progress, not perfection. So this journey isn't about being perfect all the time, exactly, and just like following everything to a T and everything like that. Like, this is a learning process. So it is really important to have some compassion for yourself and know that you are trying to make progress. And like in point 3, maybe you tried something and then it didn't feel good. And now you're just noticing, you're bringing that awareness. So have some compassion for yourself and know that progress is the goal. We're not aiming to be perfect from day dot. 5, all main meals should include some source of protein. Whether or not you eat meat, you should really be trying to include some source of protein in your main meals. Because, like I mentioned before with the snacking piece, you're going to feel fuller for longer and you're going to have better energy to do the things that you love on a day-to-day basis. And that will be like a domino effect of you feeling really good. 6, main meals should also be the main priority as they will fill you up first. So same on that snacking point. You know you've got a really good snack, but you're going to skip your lunch. No go. You've got to eat that main meal first. And try not to focus on like, oh, it's like 3 p.m. I haven't had my lunch yet. Or should I have dinner? Should I have a snack? Like, what should I do? Don't worry about timings for now because better off just trying to have your main meals and having the good stuff, the nutritious stuff. 7, snacking is fine in between your meals if you feel like you need a little bit of energy and added protein. Pretty much covered that one. Carbs play an important role in fueling our muscles before and after activity. So cushioning your workouts with the source of carbohydrates is also ideal. 9, both protein and small amounts of fat can help you feel fuller for longer. And 10, eating fruits can help you curb your sugar cravings. So that is everything in I'm pretty sure, yeah, it is. That is everything in Nutrition 101. I hope that you found this helpful. And if you have any questions at all, please feel free to send me a message on WhatsApp, email, wherever, through the app, ask me in person. More than happy to help you come up with a further plan for your nutrition. But hopefully this gives you a good basis to work with to start with. And yeah, really excited to hopefully get you guys feeling healthier, happier, stronger, and all of the good stuff. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we will catch up on our next community call in about a month's time. See ya.